In the pursuit of justice is no virtue.
Industrial giant, to get government back within its means and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise. I can hear you! I can hear you! The rest of the world hears you! And the people...
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So tonight
To be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. Today's program don't have a lot of personalities, don't have a lot of celebrities on the program today, just superstar gun rights activist Rachel Malone, that's all. But I have a ton of information to share with you today, and I'm glad that you have decided to join me. Go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com, scroll down the homepage in the right column in our YouTube box right there. You will see the little bug for live right now on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. Or you can go to YouTube directly, do a search for RER video, no space, RER video, and you'll get a chance to see my beautiful face. Rachel, you get a chance to see her beautiful face as well, because I do believe Rachel is going to Skype in. That's going to be really fantastic to be able to check out Rachel eyeball to eyeball. She has a fantastic initiative coming up, and we want to tell you all about it, especially when it comes to your Second Amendment rights here in the Lone Star State. On yesterday, well, it looks like from all indications, the number one issue that concerns Texans in this election cycle, very much like previous election cycles, is the immigration issue. And you guys know, I guess more than anybody else, when it comes to audio communications, digital or terrestrial, more than anybody else, I am focusing like a laser beam on the border invasion. You say it's your number one issue. The polling says, however trustworthy that is, that for you, the border invasion here in Texas is the number one issue. So it's my intention to stay focused on it like a mad dog on red meat. I'm the one that's been going through the website of Customs and Border Protection, getting these apprehension numbers that give us a clear idea of how bad the invasion is, if you believe the numbers. And it's right here on Raging Elephants Radio that on Monday and Tuesday, I revealed to you the numbers for July. Border apprehensions right here in the Lone Star State, the 5 border sectors of Texas. I keep sneezing for you guys that are watching on video because I had bacon and eggs right before I came on the air, and I think the pepper is still in my left nostril. But in July, now I got the sniffles. That's just way too much pepper on a little pepper, a little Cholula, a little jalapeno juice. I mean, what good omelet does not have that? For July, the 5 border sectors of Texas, there were 20,554 apprehensions. The National Border Patrol Council says that if 20.5 thousand were apprehended, then 20.5 thousand got away. So that means 41,000 actually invaded into Texas for the month of July. Here's the president of the National Border Patrol Council.
Yeah, well, after he was elected, the numbers went down. They called it the Trump effect, and now we're back up to something like 600,000 arrests a year, about 50,000 a month. That's just who is caught crossing the border, according to the numbers. Do we know how many people are getting by?
We don't know exactly the numbers that get by, but we do have an estimation. Border Patrol agents go out and we do count what we call gotaways. Unfortunately, if you look at it, Border Patrol agents will tell you that we're probably about 50 to 60% effective. So between 40 and 50% of those people that cross the border illegally are still getting away from us. So we arrest 50,000, but 50,000 are getting by, and that should be extremely concerning. But again, all you have to do is look at the failed operations and policies. When we're only deploying, the Washington Times did a great article 2 or 3 months ago where they reported that McAllen, our busiest Border Patrol station, was only deploying about 12.5% of our resources on the border. That's just not going to get it done.
I want to go through this again. For all of you Trumpkins out there, I want to go through this again because I said it, I promised it. I said I'm going to hammer Donald Trump on this issue because the condition is just as bad when Barack Insane Obama was in office. I have called for the firing of Beauregard Sessions, not because of the Russian hoax investigation, but specifically on this issue because we believed that when Beauregard was named as Attorney General, that this would be the one issue in which he would be outstanding. We couldn't have very much confidence anywhere else. We couldn't have very much confidence when it comes to ending the prohibition on marijuana and criminal justice reform, which is a legitimate topic. I know it's socialist, leftist, Democrat-led, but this is a topic that Republicans should be grasping and absolutely dominating. But I digress. We thought Sessions was going to be straight up Skippy on immigration and border invasion, on deportations. And what we're finding out is that the performance of the Trump administration is just as bad as Barack Insane Obama. That Kristen Nielsen, although she's sexier, she is definitely just as bad as Janet Napolitano as Secretary of Homeland Security. Now I want to listen to Brandon once again on this.
Yeah, well, after he was elected, the numbers went down. They called it the Trump effect, and now we're back up to something like 600,000 arrests a year. Okay,
so what they're saying on the Fox is the anchor is saying, okay, when Trump was first elected, the numbers went down, but now they're back up again. Under who? Trump. The numbers are back again up under Trump.
50,000 a month. That's just who is caught crossing the border.
50,000 a month for the entire southern border of the United States. 50,000 is what they're talking about. Of the 50,000 that are caught, 20,000 in July were just crossing into Texas. And this audio came back from, was in July. So only the June numbers were being reported when the president of the National Border Patrol Council and the Foxies on the Fox network are having this conversation. 50,000. Let me remind you that in June, when this conversation was being had, 22,708 total apprehensions just in Texas out of 50,000 total for the entire southern border of the United States.
According to the numbers, do we know how many people are getting by?
We don't know exactly the numbers that get by, but we do have an estimation. Border Patrol agents go out and we do count what we call gotaways. Unfortunately, if you look at it, Border Patrol agents will tell you that we're probably about 50 to 60% effective. So between 40 and 50% of those people that cross the border illegally are still getting away from us. So we arrest 50,000, but 50,000 are getting by, and that should be extremely concerning. But again, all you have to do is look at the failed operations and policies.
Whoa. Did he say the failed operations and policies? He's having a conversation in 2018. If Donald Trump is trumpeting all of the successes of the administration in other areas such as employment, trade, national security, foreign policy, then why isn't he having any success in this most critical issue, the invasion, which you say, as Texans, is your #1 issue in this election? And here's the president of the National Border Patrol Council, not calling Donald Trump out by name, but saying it's the current policies and practices, the current operations that are causing this invasion to continue. That's what he just said. That's the president of the National Border Patrol Council. He has no business being partisan. He has to give it to us straight, no chaser. The policies and operations are just as bad now as they were under Jay Johnson and the Barack Hussein Obama administration. Who's president now? Donald Trump. Who's AG right now? Border Guard Sessions. Who's Secretary of Homeland Security? Cutie Pie Kristen Nielsen.
When we're only deploying, the Washington Times did a great article 2 or 3 months ago where they reported that McAllen, our busiest Border Patrol station, was only deploying about 12.5% of our resources on the border. That's just not going to get it done.
That's dereliction of duty, is it not? If Greg Abbott is saying the #1 role of the Texas government is to protect us, if it is believed that for Washington, Devil City and 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the commander-in-chief, his #1 priority is to protect us, and in the busiest port of entry in the United States on the border is in McAllen, Texas, and they're using 12.5%, 1/8 of resources to protect us. Who is responsible for that? Who needs to be held accountable? Who needs to pay a price, a political repercussion for this dereliction of duty? Is it not treasonous? This is a breaking of the oath of office. This is a clear breaking of the oath of office. There is no question in my mind about this. I think Donald Trump's play on the wall is purely political. I'm going to get into that in just a moment as well. Raging Elephants Radio, stop the invasion. Need to pull up all the magnets that are drawing the illegal invaders into the United States. A little bit later on, Rachel Malone. This is Raging Elephants Radio, your Texas network, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. Don't cut the stream.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElephantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and fear leads to unbelief. Unbelief, more than any other sin, is targeted towards the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises. his stated purposes, and cast dispersion on his plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Maintaining your home air conditioner is just as important as maintenance on your car. You don't know the big difference there's going to be until you've had the work done. I thought my system was working fine, but now it's better than ever. Galen Beatty did it for me, and he'll do it for you. Good servicing will not only keep your system performing well during the sweltering summers here in Houston, but it will save you money year after year. In my case, it cut my AC power consumption by 20%. Do what I did. Have Galen Beatty set up regular AC maintenance to cut your energy bill and prevent system failure at the worst time. And what's better than being comfortable and saving money? Whether you need a basic tune-up or it's time to put in a new super efficient system, you should call Beatty AC 281-222-9591. That's 281-222-9591 to schedule an AC system tune-up. Beatty AC and Heat. That's B-E-E-D-E ACandHeat.com. BeattyACandHeat.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day for 2 weeks. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
You're enjoying Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
The Texas chapter, Gun Owners of America, Executive Director Rachel Malone is going to join me in today's program. Some very important information for you to get from Rachel today. You certainly don't want to cut the stream. You want to share the video link or share how to download the app. Text somebody and tell them they need to be listening to Raging Elephants Radio right now, especially if they believe in the rights of gun owners. Rachel Malone is coming up, rapidly becoming an RER superstar. The number one issue for you guys, the polls say, is the border invasion. And I got to say, listen, if you want to hear something different, you're going to have to tune into Raging Elephants Radio. You're going to have to download the Raging Elephants Radio app, which, by the way, is one way to defeat the censorship that we're suffering from Facebook and other liberty-driven groups and individuals. Downloading the app or joining our email list totally negates that. We have direct control over the information that you get from us at Raging Elephants Radio without any censorship from Twitter, without any censorship from Facebook, and anybody else out there. Google. But we're going to stay. If you want to hear something different, you're going to have to tune in to Raging Elephants Radio, like staying on the border invasion issue. While others in big corporate media are more concerned with, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to sound like Alex Jones and the whole Sandy Hook fiasco that he perpetrated. Oh, the kids weren't really dead. They were actors or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm going to talk about a little bit later this idea of these new reported numbers of deaths down in Puerto Rico due to Hurricane Maria. And I'm saying I'm not sure I trust those numbers. But if you really want to hear something different that has an impact on your life, information that really has an impact on your life, you're going to have to break some of your habits and become a habitual listener and watcher of Raging Elephants Radio. Because everybody in the big media, national media, they're talking about the same things, only from a different perspective. If you want to hear something different, if you want to expand your bandwidth, your receptacles, if you want a little bit more variety, a little bit more diversity in your information consumption, download the Raging Elephants Radio app. Subscribe to RER Video. And yes, you can like the Raging Elephants Radio Facebook fan page too, but we're going to stay on this issue of border security, and I believe that Donald Trump is using the wall issue for political purposes. Why won't he shut down the border? He's up there campaigning, hey, we're spending $1.4 trillion on national security and military readiness. Meanwhile, Texas is being invaded. The United States is being invaded. We're being conquered by toddlers in dirty diapers. That's what's happening. $1.4 trillion. We're supposed to be excited about that. Let me know if the new aircraft carrier is going to have some role in securing the border and protecting Texans from illegal invaders. Sessions and Nielsen should be fired. And we can't wait for the wall to be built. We don't need these politics on the wall. What we need is the military on the border. This is a national security risk. And I'm going to prove it to you in just a minute. Texas leaders should be held accountable. Abbott should be held accountable. These are the guys that campaigned on border security back in 2014. Abbott, Patrick, Paxton, Little Georgie PP, Sid Miller, they all did. Probably the railroad commissioners probably ran on border security, although all they deal with is energy. I said yesterday I gave kudos to Laura Ingraham of the Foxies because at least last night or night before last, she mentioned national numbers, but she didn't put any accountability on President Donald. She didn't say all this is going on in the Trump administration. She didn't say what the president of the National Border Patrol Council said, that it's current operations and policies that are allowing the invasion to continue. She didn't say that. She used the opportunity to lobby once again for the wall. Donald Trump wants the wall because it's all about his ego. I said again, it's all about his ego. He's a builder. He likes seeing his name on stuff, on skyscrapers and casinos and country clubs and ties and water and steaks and magazines and whatever else he's licensed his name to make money, which is fine. I wish I had that type of star power to license my name. Maybe one day I will. I'll be able to license RER. I'm not faulting the guy for that. But I'm telling you, it's an indication of his ego and what he really wants. He wants a legacy. He wants a legacy that can't be repealed. Like, for instance, Obamacare should be repealed. The ultimate legacy for Barack Hussein Obama, and it could be stripped. Never mentioned again in U.S. history, in American history, in human history. Obamacare could be completely and totally forgotten, please, Lord Jesus. But the Trump wall could be there as long as the Great Wall of China. That's what Trump is thinking about. Because if he really cared about border security, he'd have the Marines on the border. If the populace was informed about how bad the invasion is, I would hope they wouldn't be screaming build the wall at Trump rallies. They would be screaming send in the Marines. To be able to send military to the southern border right now would not be a violation of posse comitatus. This is a national security problem. We are being invaded. What is the purpose of invasion? Conquest. To take control of government, economy, and culture. And is that not happening at this very moment? I blame Trump. He wants the wall. He wants his name plastered on the wall. I guess in neon or perhaps even spray paint. Just put Trump on the wall every quarter mile. How long would it take to build a wall just across the Texas border? 1,244 miles of border between us and Mexico. How long would it take? Meanwhile, on a daily basis, we're being invaded. We're being invaded on a moment-to-moment basis. 1 per minute. These numbers that I gave you, that I've given you, 1 per minute. It's crossing into Texas even as we speak, even as you listen to this Raging Elephants Radio hot clip, even as you watch the RER video, even as you're watching me live right now, listening to me live right now through the RER app. Somebody is invading Texas at this moment. The total number for the first 10 months, 2 months left, the 10 months of FY 2018 so far in Texas, 198,364. Let's just round it up. Let's just round it up to 200,000 have actually been apprehended with catch and release in full force, in full effect. Current policies and operations, said the president of the National Border Patrol Council, is causing this invasion to continue. 200,000, and he says it's a 50-50 proposition. So if they caught 200,000, that means 400,000 have invaded into Texas since October 1, 2017. As of July 31, 2018, 400,000. With 2 months left, is it a stretch to say that 500,000 invaders would have crossed into Texas by the time October 1, 2018 rolls around? And whose president is Donald Trump? Whose AG, Beauregard Sessions? Whose Secretary of Homeland Security in charge of border security? Kristen Cutie Pie Nielsen, that's who. They all need to be fired. And Donald Trump needs to be held account. And Greg Abbott, and Dan Patrick, and Ken Paxton, Sanctuary Cities legislation, that's a drop in the bucket. All these guys campaigned on the DREAM Act, at least Dan Patrick did. They said they want to get rid of the DREAM Act. Has it happened? No. They've appropriated $1.8 billion for border security. That's 0.5% of total government expenditures in Texas. They don't want to shut the border down. Need to hold them accountable. Need to put some heat on their heads.
Will advertising on Raging Elephants Radio help your business?
Hello, my name is Galen Beatty at Beatty AC and Heating. I advertise on Raging Elephants
to put some heat on their heads.
You to do the same. Small and large business owners, if you want a really affordable way to get your name, products, and services to a large audience.
Will advertising on Raging Elephants Radio help your business?
Hello, my name is Galen Beatty at Beatty AC and Heating. I advertise on RagingElephantsRadio.com, and I would urge you to do the same. Small and large business owners, if you want a really affordable way to get your name, products, and services to a large audience of consumers, I'd advertise on RER.
Ask about our double value package. You'll love it. Easy, affordable, effective. Email RERads@RagingElephantsRadio.com. That's RERADS@RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere. Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. Hey, Barry, the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texas. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep.
Charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElephantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Find Raging Elephants Radio on Twitter at RE Radio Texas.
Just having fun talking Texas Liberty 411. RagingElephantsRadio.com. Trying to make contact with Rachel Malone. She's scheduled to come in right about now. Who knows? She's out there doing her thing. We will continue to try to get Rachel in here via Skype as soon as possible. So I'm calling an audible. We're talking about border security, and I was going through the Customs and Border Protection website, just kind of surfing through, and I found this very interesting information that I thought I wanted to share with you. A typical day for Customs and Border Patrol. They have a page called A Typical Day. I found it fascinating, and I figured, I know my audience, I figured you guys would find it fascinating too. Typical day, this is as of 2017. And they have it categorized here. Processed, a typical day for CBP, Border Patrol. Processed 1,088,300 passengers and pedestrians. That includes 340.4 thousand incoming international air passengers and crew, 55.7 thousand passengers and crew on arriving ship/boat, 691.5 thousand incoming land travelers. More than anything that's processed on a single day by Border Patrol pretty much 692,000 incoming land travelers. Land, not in airports, not on cruise ships. In a day, Border Patrol processes 283.6 thousand incoming privately owned vehicles, 78.1 thousand truck, rail, and sea containers, $6.5 billion worth of imported products per day, 90.9 thousand entries of merchandise at our land, air, and seaports of entry. I'm reading from the website, National Homeland Security. $120.5 million in duties, taxes, and other fees, including more than $94.8 million in duties, just in duties, per day. $120.5 million per day, duties, taxes, and other fees, scooped up by Border Patrol. Conducted on a typical day by Border Patrol. 851 apprehensions between U.S. ports of entry, 21 arrests of wanted criminals at U.S. ports of entry, 21 arrests of wanted criminals at U.S. ports of entry, 592 refusals of inadmissible persons at U.S. ports of entry, discovered 352 pests at U.S. ports of entry, and 4,638 materials for quarantine, plant, meat, animal byproduct, and soil. Seized on a typical day by Border Patrol, 5.8 thousand pounds of narcotics, disrupts 222 pounds of narcotics, $265.2 thousand in undeclared or illicit currency. They're scooping up $250,000 per day in illicit money, in cash. $250,000 per day in cash. Seized every day by Border Patrol. $3.3 million worth of products with intellectual property rights violations. Identified daily by Customs and Borders Protection, 1,607 individuals with suspected national security concerns. Identified national security concerns, 1,607 per day. Intercepted 12 fraudulent documents per day. That sounds low to me. The rest of the information basically is Border Patrol, man, woman, human power. 23,000 CBP officers, 2.4 thousand CPB agricultural specialists, 19.4 thousand Border Patrol agents, 610 air interdiction agents, that would be pilots, 337 marine interdiction agents, 256 aviation enforcement agents, 883 trade personnel. Then you have all the deployments and all that. I'm not going to go through that. $3.3 million worth of products with intellectual property rights violations they seize per day. 1,607 individuals with suspected national security concerns. 592 refusals of inadmissible persons at U.S. ports of entry. In other words, nearly 600 people a day are trying to get into the country that aren't supposed to be getting into the country. They're at least trying. It's like some sort of malicious hacking attack on your computers, right? That's what's going on here. They're continually trying to get in, regardless of what their status is, to get in to the country. Through Border Patrol, the national government is scooping up $20.5 million in duties, taxes, and fees per per day. Then on top of that, they're scooping up in hard cold cash $265.2 thousand a day in what they're calling undeclared or illicit currency. I think this all has to do with the border invasion, don't you think? And with all this going on, 12.5% of assets, available assets, are being used at the McAllen port of entry, the busiest port of entry on the border, if not the country, right? How many people are being processed on land? I mean, in other words, this is the number of people they're seeing per day that are entering in via land. Where is it? Processed, conducted, discovered, seized, identified. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. 691.5 thousand incoming land travelers per day are processed. There it is right there. 691.5 thousand. Border security, saints and patriots, it's absolutely critical. We're being invaded. The president, Donald Trump, says we're going to spend $1.4 trillion on beefing up military presence, beefing up military readiness, national security, and the nation and the state of Texas is being invaded and conquered by toddlers in dirty diapers. Get our priorities straight and get people in there that know what they're doing. Beauregard Sessions doesn't know what he's doing, or he doesn't care. Kristen Cutie Pie Nielsen, hey, I feel sorry she's getting chased out of restaurants, but she needs to be fired. Once she's fired, she may be able to eat in peace. Do it. Go ahead, President Donald, please. Do it for the sake of her ability to eat in peace. Fire her. Because the ultimate responsibility for this invasion lies at the feet of Donald John Trump, the DJT. It's his responsibility, and if we're going to be truthful about it, the situation on the border, the invasion, is just as bad as when Jay Johnson was Homeland Secretary, just as bad when Janet Napolitano was Homeland Secretary. Donald Trump is using this for political expedience, political gain. He wants that wall. He wants the Trump wall that can never be repealed, right? Not good. Close the border. Protect us.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
TV and radio are great mediums for mass instruction, but for those times when you just want to hold something in your hands, there is the Damn Good Times. I still love the newspaper, but I'm tired of the liberal bias. That's why I reach for the Damn Good Times. Always full of interesting stories and great information, and you can have it delivered to your doorstep by calling 281-332-5710 or sending an email to news@thedamngoodtimes.com. Just $50 a year will get a full subscription. It's a great gift for all the patriots you know. Do it now.
Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers. More than an actual product. This is the name of the company that's going to lead you to a tobacco-free life. Apostle Claver here. ECV is where I went to break my cigar usage. Now I'm a happy vape fan. Vaping, healthy, more socially acceptable. The new cool thing. No one's better in Texas to intro you to the world and tech of vaping than electronic cigarette vaporizers. Bart, Chantal, Max, and Chris will teach you every feature of the dozens
of vaping devices to choose from. ECV has a cornucopia of flavors, from fruity to cookies or even tobacco, each made from all natural products. No carcinogens, no smoky smell, and the choice of nicotine levels. Slowly drop your nic level down to 0 and break your tobacco habit with no jitters or stress while enjoying relaxing inhalation. You've been wanting to do it, so do it. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers, 2755 Gessner in Houston. Call 713-939-8273, 713-939-VAPE, or see the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars, or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElephantRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElephantRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Information, communication, action. RagingElephantRadio.com.
Want to welcome in Rachel Malone. She's the executive director of Gun Owners of America here at the Texas chapter. Unfortunately, I wanted to get her by Skype, but something's not working out. But we do have her by telephone.
Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Yes. Doing great, thanks. What about you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Awesome.
Just hanging tough, just doing my thing, talking Texas Liberty 411. I know you do I know you do a lot of traveling. Are you at home base, Rachel, or you're out there on the road this time?
I am home for a little bit, getting ready to head out on a pretty major loop around Texas.
Yeah, I know you got something planned major, and this is exactly what we wanted to talk about today. Rachel Malone, Executive Director of Gun Owners of America, Texas chapter. So, Rachel, you think it's extremely important to teach people how to be essentially citizen lobbyists? Is that what I think the new initiative is for you, to teach people with this brand new legislative session coming up that you want to teach people how to get the job done out there.
Exactly. I sure do. So just as a grassroots volunteer, I always said that everyday Texans are the ones most qualified to make their opinions known. And still today, as now a registered lobbyist for grassroots gun rights, I still say that everyday Texans are still the ones most qualified to make their voices known. And I think if I'm doing my job right, I'm bringing all the grassroots in to give their opinion known.
Now, this is sort of what I envision, Rachel, is that when critical legislation, gun rights legislation, is being presented during a legislative session, because they only meet every 2 years, so it really is a beehive up there when the Pink Dome is in session. I get the feeling that those that are pro-gun control always outnumber those that are pro-Second Amendment, that are pro-gun rights. And that may have at least an optical impact on the legislators. In Texas, the legislators, the Pink Dome, indeed has the balance of governing power constitutionally by our state constitution. And so a lot of emphasis is put on the lawmakers, the policy enactors. And I'm thinking that you believe just showing up in numbers has an optical impact on the legislators, and because the gun control advocates usually are outnumbering the gun rights advocates, that perhaps your efforts and that of others is being thwarted. Your thoughts on this, Rachel Malone?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just showing up, I mean, it's the optical power of it, as well as, I mean, just the sheer numbers can be overwhelming and turning things in our favor. So I don't actually believe that gun control activists outnumber gun rights activists statewide. But the problem we have is the legislature meets in Austin. Austin is this liberal hive, right? And so it's a whole lot easier for all the gun control folks, you know, the students at UT, the professors at UT, the liberals, that group of people who live here in Austin, it's a whole lot easier for them to show up to the Capitol. So I feel like we have to work a little bit harder and train our folks and equip them and give them the resources so that they can make it to Austin and show everybody that, you know, the liberals in Austin don't speak for all of Texas.
They speak for very few Texans, if the truth be known. Okay, so what I want to know, Rachel, is this. Talk to me about specifically the initiative. You say that you're preparing to go across the state, and it's something that I've done when I had the PAC, RagingElephants.org, and something that unfortunately I think I'm going to have to do more regularly is get out there on the road and meet the people and talk to them about what's happening in the state. And this is what you're going to have to do. You're about ready to do a spider web, build a spider web across the state, traveling and talking to activists. What's your intent? What's your purpose? What's the project all about? Rachel Malone.
Yes. So my focus is on getting people to turn out and show up when it matters so we can pass constitutional carry here in Texas. And my strategy is traveling all over Texas, presenting legislative training so folks understand the legislative process. Because a lot of times, you'll hear about bills in Congress or bills in Austin, and something needs to be done, and you just don't feel like you know what to do, and you wonder if your voice can make a difference. But if you've had the training and you understand the process, and especially if you're able to be connected with a network that's working on the same issue, for example, Gun Owners of America working on constitutional carry, or whatever other organization for your issue. If you're connected and you know, hey, we're all making these phone calls the same day, we are all showing up to the Capitol the same day, that type of numbers showing up together, that's what has this real amazing impact. And it doesn't take that many... So it basically, if all the people I'm connecting with all over Texas will actually show up, we can make a difference in passing legislation. That will be enough people, but they still have to show up to do it.
But don't you feel that, as you mentioned previously, the difficulty is the coordination, the travel expense, the gas, the hotel, getting away from work, getting away from parental responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. Right. It has to be well organized, well planned, well in advance. That's what I'm seeing. That's what my experience has been in the past, right, Rachel?
Yeah, so I remember years ago, there would sometimes be hearings for various issues, and I would sometimes ask my friends, hey, is it worth it for me to take the time out to show up? Because there were a lot of times when I could have sacrificed to show up, but I wasn't really sure if it was worth it. And what I'm trying to help folks understand is, at the end of the day, it's their decision of whether it's worth it. But showing up at the Capitol at a legislative hearing has so much more impact than just calling or emailing. Not to say don't do that, but I want to say, I don't know the numbers, but I want to say showing up to a hearing, that might count for, 1,000 phone calls and emails. They know each person who shows up to a hearing counts for a very high number of constituents. That person represents a very large number of constituents, more so than just a single phone call or an email. And so I think when people understand the process and they see how important it is and how valuable it is, they're more willing to make the sacrifice. And the other thing is, folks can realize that even if they themselves truly are unable to come to the Capitol, maybe they have another resource or ability that can help others to come. Maybe they can watch somebody else's kid. Maybe they can give somebody gas money to make it down here or pay for their hotel. Or maybe they can do the research and help people to prepare their testimony so they feel confident. You know, if you've got somebody who has the time and money to come, but they don't know what to say, somebody who has the skills can help them develop their testimony and prepare to say it well. So even those who aren't able to come can still make it possible for others to make it to the Capitol and have that impact.
Talking with Rachel Malone of Gun Owners of America, but you made mention of something. Talk to me, Rachel, about the lobbying aspect of it. I've known in the past, especially Tea Party members, various Tea Parties like Clear Lake Tea Party or Kingwood Tea Party, etc. In some instances, banding together, renting buses, and going out not necessarily to testify in front of a committee, but actually roaming the catacombs of the Pink Dome and going to the offices of the individual legislators, having a cogent, coordinated message, and sitting down, cold call, if you will, with those legislators and expressing their views on particular legislation, what their desires are. I think that would be impactful as well. Do you have plans for those types of organized efforts, Rachel?
Yes, I don't have something scheduled yet, but we will definitely be having a lobby day where people can plan in advance and to show up at the Capitol when the legislators are there and sit down in groups. So we'll probably be doing one major lobby day, as well as encouraging various groups to set their own lobby days. Bring their own group of 10 or 15 people, however many it is, come down to the Capitol, and I can help them, walk them through the process of how do you visit with your reps? How do you talk about these issues? Here's some handouts to give them. Here's how you navigate the Capitol. Even just getting to the Capitol and finding the offices can be a task. So yes, I see that as a large part of my role as the grassroots gun rights lobbyist in the Capitol.
All right, Rachel, so you want to go around the state and you want to train people to get this thing done. How extensive is the training going to be? I know that when I was working with grassroots activists on doing engagement in communities of color, I had to show them first what the problem actually is, show them that there is an absolute need for their on-the-ground, ground game, boots on the ground activism, their effort, their sweat equity. And then after that, I would have to teach them what to do when we got on the ground. And that would take a couple of hours, including a little bit of role playing. I'm thinking that perhaps this is going to be the same type of instruction, the same type of tutorial training that you're talking about doing all over the state of Texas.
It absolutely is. So most of my trainings are a 3-hour block. Typically, it'll be 6 to 9 p.m. We'll start with some, meet and greet segments, and then we'll have usually a 2-hour session of just going through, first of all, starting with why does this even matter? And I share a lot of my story as an example so people can understand how all this fits together and how it really does make a difference to know this information, and they can get energized. And then we jump into, everything from how to use the TLO website. That's the Texas Legislature Online. You can find a wealth of information if you know how to. So I walk them through how to set up an account, how to get bill alerts, how to know what's happening when. We go through a bill process. It's a lot easier for a bill to die than for it to pass. And so we talk through what are the choke points and how do you get things through and keep them from dying. And then we talk a lot about interacting with legislators, how to logistically find them and how to set up meetings and what to say, how to conduct yourself to be the most persuasive. And then we talk a lot about committee hearings. So just navigating it, finding it, signing in, where do you park, what do you bring, where do you sit at the table to testify, what words do you use? And then we talk about how do you prepare persuasive testimony, how do you appeal to people's minds, appeal to their hearts, make it very specific and actionable so that they know what you're asking for. We talk through a lot of that, how to prepare that testimony, then how to deliver testimony. And then we also cover what do you do if you really can't show up to the Capitol? What can you do from home?
Now, I want to take a short break, Rachel. When we get back, I want to talk when I spoke with you, did a bit of a pre-interview, you really emphasized something that was very much unselfish. You're of course focused on gun rights, but you were like, you just want to train everybody, no matter what their issue is, how to be more effective when it comes to lobbying for liberty movement issues. And I want to talk to you about that attitude when we get back, Rachel. I want to take a short break. I only have a few more minutes with Rachel. Rachel Malone is the executive director of Gun Owners of America for here in Texas. Fantastic young lady, beautiful young lady, very skilled with firearms. I'm a bit intimidated. I openly admit that. And we're going to get back and talk with her more about this. And as I promised before, Rachel is going to be on Raging Elephants Radio a whole lot more. All the other broadcast activists are taking advantage of her enormous intellect and resources, having her on as a guest. Her information is extremely valuable. She's going to be a constant on your Texas network. Don't cut the stream.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElephantsRadio.com. The happiest happy hour on the H-Town West Side. Introducing the Texas Tea Tavern. Texas Tea. The longest happy hour. 12 noon to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. $3.75 domestic drafts. $8 domestic pitchers. $4 wells. $5 grapies for the ladies. Texas Tea. Texas Tea is the West Side after-work chill-out place. They have this massive door that opens up to a relaxed lawn and patio. Day or night, this time of year, it's marvelous for sipping in convo. Texas Tea. Video poker tournaments all through the week. Tuesday, Texas Trivia. Wednesday, bring your axe. It's open jam night. Live music every Saturday night on the huge stage. Karaoke Sunday nights. Texas Tea. Mud bugs could be boiling in the outdoor kitchen. If you're hungry, the classy food cart on the newly paved parking lot serves $3 tacos that are big as your head. Texas Tea. A safe place for ladies to venture solo. Open every night until 2 a.m. Texas Tea. Easy to find. 1535 Brickmore, a stone's throw from City Center. You may see me there. Get more info, click the ad on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
When Andrew Jackson ran for president in 1828, his opponents called him a jackass. Jackson liked the image so much, it became the mascot of the new Democratic Party.
The battle for liberty rages in every Texas community, none more so than in the nation's fourth largest city, Houston, Texas. A tyrannical mayor denies the right to vote to the citizens of the city, signs executive orders that violate the Texas Constitution and the charter of the city, and issues subpoenas for the sermons of pastors. And when the frontline leaders against the mayor's totalitarian agenda wanted a broadcast partner for their Faith, Family, and Freedom tour, who did they request? RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
There are a lot of great folks that we owe a big debt of gratitude for promoting this issue from day one. I want to recognize my friend Claver and the folks over at Raging Elephants over here. He was on it from day one. Every single week this man talks about this issue. And so thank you, Claver, for never giving in, never backing down, and continuing to be that loud conservative voice.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, I want to remind you guys, I got those Renaissance Festival tickets coming, but the only way you're going to be able to get them is if you download the Raging Elephants Radio app. Go to the App Store or your Google Play, do a search for Texas Politics. Everybody knows the logo. Download the app. Or do a search, Raging Elephants Radio. You may want to separate the words, Raging Elephants Radio. But everybody knows the logo. Download the Raging Elephants app, and you're also helping us defeat the censorship of Facebook and Twitter and the rest of them out there. Right now, the very lovely Rachel Malone, she's the Executive Director, Texas Chapter of Gun Owners of America, is joining me on the Raging Elephants Radio conversation line. We were going to try to do a Skype thing, but it didn't work out. I don't know what happened. But it didn't work out. We're going to try it next time because Rachel will be back on. Hey, Rachel, I wanted to start this segment off, the last few minutes we have, about the attitude that you really have about citizen activism, citizen lobbyist. And, we were talking and you were saying, hey, my issue is gun rights, Second Amendment. We want to see constitutional carry in Texas, but there are other issues, and I just want to generally just teach the saints and patriots how to be more effective in their activism, especially under the pink dome. That can be an intimidating activity, going in there and all this marble and granite everywhere, this venerable building, the pink dome, and it could be a bit intimidating for some folks. But it's necessary for citizens to directly get involved when they possibly can, and citizen lobbying, as you say, is the most effective. Talk to us about the attitude, Rachel Malone.
Right. So one of the very first early lessons that I learned as a grassroots activist was that you can't do it alone. And I mean that in two different ways. One, we've already talked about. I don't want to be the only voice talking about gun rights. I want a whole army of activists showing up, making the phone calls, coming to committee hearings, etc. So I want all those people showing up for gun rights. But the other way I mean that I can't do it alone is that gun rights is not the only issue important to preserving our liberties. I care very deeply, not just about gun rights, but about preserving the blessings of liberty to our posterity. And that means there are a lot of issues that need to be looked at. Each of us, if we're focused very heavily on an issue, we don't have time to also give the same attention to other issues. But what I love is that, I'm focused very diligently on gun rights. And I'll have another friend focused very diligently on maybe property taxes. Another friend focused on parental rights. And people are focused on various issues, and that is amazing and wonderful, and I love it. And I think that the things that we do for our own issue, there's no reason why the things that I do for gun rights should not also benefit the entire liberty community. So the training I'm doing is very much a process-based training. It's not about gun rights. It's about the process for advocacy. And because of that, I am so glad that I'm able to invite all my friends who are advocating for so many different issues related to liberty. And I'm inviting them to bring all of their people, their members of their groups, to these trainings to learn how to advocate for their issues. And my job is to advocate for gun rights, and I'm going to do that 100%. But yes, there's no reason why everybody else shouldn't also benefit, and why my efforts for gun rights shouldn't also benefit other efforts for liberty in the Capitol.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe, is it foolishly optimistic to believe that an unpaid volunteer citizen lobbyist can outduel, the high dollar loafer wearing, custom suit tailored wearing lobbyists that infest the Pink Dome every 2 years and the streets of Austin 365 days a year? Is it possible for the citizen lobbyists to defeat them?
It is absolutely 100% possible. I've done that. The grassroots volunteer lobbyists are the ones who got constitutional carry moving forward. I did that purely as a volunteer. I was self-funding. I was not being paid to do that at all. Neither was anybody else who was working on constitutional carry. We made constitutional carry be the issue that now everybody else has to focus on. So yes, it's 100% possible for the grassroots volunteer activists doing this in their spare time to win the battles, if they know the process.
The legislators actually give them that respect versus the cats that at the end of the legislative session toss over, a 4 or 5 figure, maybe even 6-figure check. You're that optimistic. We as individuals collectively together. I'm not saying that they're necessarily going to get the same respect. What I'm saying is if they show up in enough numbers at the right time, then they can instill enough of a healthy type of fear in the elected officials that they're not going to get reelected if they don't move the right way on the issue. Okay, so let's look at the 2019 legislative session. Of course, we've got a speaker's race. It's the first thing that has to be settled. 7 have declared so far. 6 are Republicans. And if I was to look at them, all of them being Straussians, if you will, and all of them having poor scores as far as the Raging Elephants Radio Liberty Scorecard average or the Rice University ranking of Republicans in regards to conservatism. Not necessarily asking you to opine on the candidacies so far, but the field of those that have declared so far, does it improve or does it weaken the prospects of constitutional carry in this legislative session? Because it's been a dogfight the last couple of legislative sessions, and I would anticipate that regardless of the composition of the legislature come January 2019, it's going to be a dogfight again. I don't think it's going to be an easy task at all, Rachel. Your thoughts?
It's definitely not going to be an easy task. It's possible to pass constitutional carry for sure, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's an uphill battle, which is why we're getting busy now. But so I have a different take on the whole speaker issue. I kind of feel like, to a certain extent, we're asking the wrong question. We're focused on the wrong thing, because it should not really matter who the speaker is. If all of the members voted on rules that were fair, it really wouldn't matter. And by fair rules, I mean the same kind of rules that you'd be okay with, whether it's your guy in power or whether it's not your guy in power. So the kind of rules that say if there are 85 co-authors on a bill, then that bill has a way to move through committees and no one person can decide not to bring it up for a vote and stall it out. Or if there are enough co-authors or enough people on the committee who want to bring a bill up for a vote, they can force it up for a vote. And again, no one person can keep that bill from coming up for a vote if there's demonstrated support. So things like that should be in place, and it's up to all of the members to vote for those rules. unfortunately, last session, if you remember, some of those rules came up for a vote, and they were voted against. And in fact, you had the chairman of the calendars committee standing up and basically giving a speech about "let me be your bad guy, let me kill these things," and that's not helpful. That's not those types of rules that allow one person to have so much power, whether it's a committee chair or other people anonymously tagging a bill in calendars committee. That's not fair. That's not right. We should fight against those processes and put fair processes in place so we're okay even if not our guy is in power as a speaker.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. It shouldn't be, but that was really revealing in the last session when Todd Hunter got up and basically told everybody, hey, Representative Synfronia Thompson and Todd Hunter, let us be your bad guy. We will kill your bills for you. And he made it known that would seem to be sort of a common practice, that legislators will file a bill to go back to their constituents and say, hey, look, I filed this bill. It even made it out of committee, but it died in calendars, but I tried. When their intent the whole time was never to have the bill passed. It was just simply to placate and deceive their constituents. That was a very revealing moment, those little 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For sure it is.
Hey, Rachel, we're going to be following constitutional carry again because, once again, it's going to be another dogfight. And there's going to be some developments, I'm sure, heading into January. Of course, I mean, we have the election, general election coming up on November the 6th, and the composition of the Pink Dome will then be cemented for sure. So we're going to be having you on, and I do want updates and reports on how your events are going on around the state, how well they're doing. So I'll be staying in contact with you. Thanks a lot, Rachel.
Sounds great.
How do folks get in contact with Gun Owners of America? How do they get in contact with you?
So a couple of different ways. You can go to gunowners.org and sign up for email alerts. That's gunowners.org. Or follow me on Facebook. Search me Rachel Malone in Texas. And follow Gun Owners of America on Facebook as well. We have a lot of great posts out for you.
I don't think Rachel has been ghost shadowed yet on Facebook, shadow banned on Facebook yet. So hopefully you'll find her. And anybody watching on the video, there's her pretty face right there. Just look for that pretty face on Facebook and connect with Rachel. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Talk to you pretty soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey, this is Claver. I want to take a few seconds to give you some words of encouragement. Go after the dream. Some of you have embraced the dream of having your own talk show. Congratulations. You've got a lot to say, and you have the confidence to believe you can do a great job. You should start on RagingElephantRadio.com. Purchasing your own block time is cheap. Yeah, a lot cheaper than your local terrestrial station for sure. And we don't leave you to sink or swim. Consultation on how to get up and running is part of our service to you as an RER independent producer. Shoot me an email, info@RagingElephantsRadio.com. info@RagingElephantsRadio.com. I'll send you a full media kit. Launch that dream right now with RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hey, this is Barry the Music Man with the Doc Green Show, and one of their most beloved sponsors is BDAC and Heat. I'll tell you what, last summer when it was hotter than heck, my air conditioner went south for the winter. So I called BDAC and Heat. He came out the next day and put in a new, quiet, efficient system. My electric bill dropped 50%. So if you have an AC problem, you need to give Gang a call. So call Gang on BD at 281-222-9591 or bdacandheat.com. 281-222-9591. Start saving money and be cool today.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Automobile aficionado Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver and I own a high performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match your beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year 12,000 mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001. 713-467-2001. AmericasRepair.com. Or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
I reckon a storm's a brewing. Reckon so.
Reckon you got a hotel?
Reckon no. Money's tight.
Reckon Priceline Express deals can get you a great deal wherever you mosey.
You reckon? We reckon. I reckon our work here is done. Vamonos!
Express deals, Priceline savings without the bidding.
Think he's happy?
Oh, I reckon.
Visit Priceline.com through the RER Marketplace.
Your grassroots political organization may benefit from having your own internet radio program. RagingElePhantsRadio.com can help you achieve that. By having your own RER program, you can personally inform your members and supporters of the top issues in your community and grow the size of your organization. Starting your own RER show isn't as hard as you think or as costly as you think. To get started, go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com and click the Advertise on RER button for a list of prices. Or you can email us, sales@RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Have your voice heard, have your own show on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
Hey, listen, if you're like a Renaissance Festival junkie, or if you've never been, like me, I've never been to the Renaissance Festival. But Chip Darby, who has a program here Saturday mornings on Raging Elephants Radio at 10 p.m., the final chapter with Chip Darby, well, he's got us some tickets. So potentially this year, me and maybe a couple of people who treat me nice may get a chance to go to the Renaissance Festival. This may be the year for me to go to a Renaissance Festival. Finally. I think the big thing you go for when you go to a Renaissance Festival is they're supposed to have like those big, huge, like turkey legs. They have those big, huge turkey legs when we go to the Formula One race. But I never seem to think like having the big turkey leg works at Formula One. However, if I'm at the Renaissance Festival, a big, huge turkey leg or two may be appropriate. The problem, of course, with the turkey leg is the tryptophan. So if you have a couple of one of those big, huge, steroid-fed turkey legs, you may fall asleep in the middle of the joust. But apparently Chip has got goo gobs of these tickets. He's got the Renaissance I'm still holding my fist like I got a turkey, like I got the turkey leg. And you have to see me on RER video. And go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com, scroll down the page, and you'll see our YouTube box and a little bug that says live now. Although I still do not know why it keeps putting Friday's date on it. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. I'm not going to blame YouTube. I'm going to blame me. But I'm still holding my hand. If you're watching by video, I'm still holding my hand like I got a turkey leg. I just wanted to show you that. I'm holding it like I have a virtual turkey leg in my hand right now. But apparently Chip has got the hookup on the Renaissance Festival tickets. He's got like dozens of them. And I'm only going to give them away through the RER app. I'm only going to do that because it has come to my attention as a revelation, maybe from the Most High himself via the Holy Spirit, the way to really get around the censorship of a Facebook, of a Twitter, of an Instagram, of a Google, is to have direct contact with your people. And the app does that. Believe it or not, old school email has that. So through Facebook, through Twitter, through the website, through the app, through email, we're going to be pushing the email and we're going to be pushing the app. We want direct contact with you. That's the way to do it, not through Facebook. If we could get all of our Facebook fans to download the app, we wouldn't even need Facebook. If we had all of our Facebook fans download the app and subscribe to our email list, we could close down the Facebook page and not miss a beat. Totally not miss a beat. But if you want the Renaissance Festival tickets, I'm just telling you, I'm scooping some off the top for myself. I mean, there needs to be some benefit for being the president and CEO of the Texas Network, the rebellious voice of Texas Liberty, your Liberty Network. It needs to be some sort of Benny. So if Chip has got dozens and dozens of Renaissance Festival tickets, I'm scooping off the top. I am scooping off the top. But the rest of them, I'm going to be giving them through the Raging Elephants Radio app, RER app. So you better download the app. Friend of Raging Elephants Radio, Emily Horton, up in the DFW area, sent me this. I mean, like, back in June, she sent me this. There's been so much stuff going on that I have not been able to get to this. As you know, Emily used to be our sports director here at Raging Elephants Radio. Then our law practice just sort of got too busy. The changes in her life. And she sent me this back in June. And I almost forgot about it. And then college football season started, and it came right back to my recollection, and I went and looked it up. And it has to do with how much money college athletic programs shovel into their bank accounts. And wouldn't you know it, the two biggest revenue producers for college athletics are Texas and Texas A&M. Texas scoops in $214.8 million a year through athletics. A&M, just short of $212 million a year. So basically, between the two of them, $425 million a year in athletics. Athletic revenue. Which is fine. I get it. That's cool. Number one and number two. But how come it doesn't result in wins on the field? How come they can't win a championship? See, this is where I want to go with this rant. You're making all this money. You have the A1 facilities in the country. I'm talking about the Horns and the Ags. The number one facilities. I mean, Kyle Field. I mean, it looks like a big, concrete edifice or whatever. I mean, but they did a great job with it. Darrell Royal Memorial, whatever they call the thing on the University of Texas. They made it into a big bowl or whatever, but it looks good. It looks great. They're both world-class facilities. But then how come they keep getting their cookies spanked on the football field, on the baseball field, on the basketball court? How come they keep getting their cookies spanked? They're number one and number two in revenue. And then Texas goes up to Maryland, and loses 2 years in a row. Maryland came down, the Longhorn came down to ATX, Weird Austin, and beat them last year. And then Texas goes back up there and they get their their cookies spanked at College Park. That's just, it's embarrassing. I know A&M lost to Clemson. They should have won. All Texas schools should be undefeated in all Texas games unless they're playing another Texas school. That's my attitude about it. I am a Texas supremacist, as you know. And Kyle Field was crazy last Saturday night. I mean, the 12th man showed up and showed out. No question about it. Would have loved to have been at that game on Saturday night facing number 2 Clemson. But they lost. They lost. Little bitty Clemson. And from little bitty South Carolina, and the Aggies, the Fighting Farmers, can't take them out. All this money, and then you look at, since like 2013, 2014, I saw this graphic on one of the football games I was watching over the weekend. Cutting the cord is great because you can't watch all the football games at the same time. But if you cut the cord and you stream and you have like Fire TV and the ESPN Watch app and all of that, they got like hundreds of football games. You can just watch them all. It's beautiful. You watch all the games when you want to. When there's like nothing on cable television except the Real Housewives of Omaha, Nebraska, you can go watch a football game. It's great. It's great. I love it. But I'm watching one of the games, and they got a graphic on there about which Texas teams have had. I think I was watching the Houston. Yeah, I think I was watching Houston and Arizona, and they had a graphic. Which Texas team since like 2013, 2014 has had the most wins? It's not the Horns. It's not the Ags. It's not the Frogs. It certainly ain't the Ponies. It certainly ain't the Owls, and it certainly ain't the Red Raiders. It's the Cougs. University of Houston Cougs, who should be in the Big 12, since the Big 12 doesn't have 12. And their program is not on this list. Their successful head coaches get scooped up by the likes of Texas. That's what happens. Texas, $214.8 million in athletic revenues, and they can't win diddly squat. Can't win diddly squat. If it wasn't for Vince Young, even Mac Brown wouldn't even have a national championship. Do you realize that if it wasn't for the remarkable Vince Young performance in the Rose Bowl versus USC, instant classic college football game, one for the history books, one that'll always be remembered, one that belongs in Texas football lore, if it wasn't for that remarkable Herculean Mount Olympus performance by VY from Houston, Texas, even Mac Brown wouldn't have a national championship. Are you kidding me? You're scooping in all this money, and on a weekly basis, you're getting your cookie spanked. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. As a Texas supremacist, it's embarrassing that our collegiate football teams can't win a national championship. The toothless ones in Alabama are the ones that keep winning national championships. It's unconscionable. It's intolerable.
Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers. More than an actual product, this is the name of the company that's going to lead you to a tobacco-free life. Apostle Claver here. ECV is where I went to break my cigar usage. Now I'm a happy vape fan. Vaping, healthy, more socially acceptable. The new cool thing. No one's better in Texas to intro you to the world and tech of vaping than electronic cigarette vaporizers. Bart, Chantal, Max, and Chris will teach you every feature of the dozens of vaping devices to choose from. ECV has a cornucopia of flavors, from fruity to cookies or even tobacco, each made from all natural products. No carcinogens, no smoky smell, and the choice of nicotine levels. Slowly drop your nic level down to 0 and break your tobacco habit with no jitters or stress while enjoying relaxing inhalation. You've been wanting to do it, so do it. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers, 2755 Gessner in Houston. Call 713-939-8273 833-713-939-FAITH or see the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Automobile aficionado, Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now, you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver and I own a high performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done, and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match or beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001, 713-467-2001, americasrepair.com, or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Texas Talk is all the rage. Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Fridays are always crazy around here at Raging Elephants Radio. Friday would be tomorrow. Fridays are always a thank you, Jesus. It's Friday around here. And of course, the girls from Texas start everything off at 10 a.m. live from Hill County, the heart of the Lone Star State. And yours truly at noon, the amazing Doc Green at 2. H. Scott Appley. He began working for RER, and then after about a month, he decided to have a 2-week vacation. I guess that's how we roll around here, except for me. H. Scott will be back in a few days. Got some of his best programs at 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. every day here on Raging Elephants Radio. And you got to tune in to Raging Elephants Radio if you want to hear something different. It's how I began today's program, talking about how you listen to national corporate media, you listen to big national corporate media, it's the same thing on every cable channel, except they just come at it from a left-right perspective. If you want to hear something different, Raging Elephants Radio has that to offer. And quite frankly, offer to you issues, subjects, that you really can do something about because you're a Texan. All of our geo-target marketing is for Texas because we are the Texas Liberty Network. We are your rebellious voice of Texas Liberty. We are openly biased towards life, liberty, and prosperity. We say Texas first. We say the only way out is out of the national mess. Speaking of things that you have power over, the Texas speakers race. Currently, there's 7 nimnongs that have said that they want to take over the gavel from King Joe Strauss. Who are these nimnongs? These Straussian rhinos? Travis Clarity out of Nacogdoches, Drew Darby out of San Angelo, Phil King out of Weatherford, Tan Parker out of, I don't know where he's from, Flower Mound. I think he's from Flower Mound. And Ford Price out of Amarillo. And John Zerwas out of Katy. And then a jackass, Eric Johnson, out of Fort Worth or out of Dallas, or who cares where he's from. He's a jackass. So far, this collection of Straussians are absolutely unacceptable. Zero. Totally. Zero. Let me read to you their Raging Elephant Radio Liberty scorecard averages, okay? The 6. I'll even do the 7th. I'll even do the Democrat jackass. I'll give you his RER score as well. In 2017, Travis Clarity, the last legislative session, and on RagingElePhantsRadio.com, we put the last 2 years up there. 2017, his RER score was a 52 out of a possible 100. In 2015, it was a 56 out of a possible 100. As I read these scores to you, let me ask you a question if you're a parent. Let me ask you a question. Let me look at you eyeball to eyeball through the RER Video YouTube channel. If you are a parent and your child came home from school with these grades on their report card, would you not go through the roof? If you wouldn't let your child come home with these types of grades on their report card, why would you let a state representative come home to the district with these types of scores on their scorecards? Why would you do that? These are all F's. Drew Darby in 2017, a 52. In 2015, 2017, a 52. 2015, a 53. Phil King in 2017, a 68. In 2015, a 77. He's getting worse all the time. Tan Parker in 2017, a 69. In 2015, a 73. This is the wrong trajectory when it comes to the cause of liberty. This is the wrong trajectory on these scores. And these are the nimnongs that say that they want to be Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives. Dr. John Zerwas, a 54 in 2017, a 46 in 2015. And just to be fair and balanced, Eric Johnson, the Democrat, a 15 in 2017 and a 17 in 2015. He's a communist. If the possible score is 100, scores that the likes of a Briscoe Kane, Jonathan Stickland, Matt Rinaldi, Matt Schaefer, Tony Tinderholt, Jeff Leach, the kind of scores they get, you know, hundreds, 98s, 99s. If they're liberty driven, as we know, members of the Freedom Caucus, that makes Eric Johnson, he's a communist. Not socialist, communist. When you're scoring 15, you're a communist. That's only 15 points from 0. Now, there was another ranking. This is by Rice University. You can say whatever you want about Raging Elephants Radio and how we compile our Liberty scorecard average. Okay, fine. What about Rice University? Dr. Mark Jones, political science professor, their Center for Policy Studies over there at Rice University. Everybody knows about his ranking of legislators. He does it upside down. He goes from most leftist to the most liberty-driven, and that would be Briscoe Cain as a rookie in 2017, as a freshman in 2017. Briscoe Cain out of the Clear Lake area. And so if Briscoe Cain is the last, then you got to kind of go backwards to find out what the rankings are for the Republicans. And so basically what Dr. Mark Jones has done is he's ranked them as the most conservative. You got to do the numbers backwards, but it comes out like this. It comes out with Travis Clarity out of 95 Republicans being the 92nd most liberty-driven. In other words, he's a straight-up rhino. He's at the bottom of the Republicans when it comes to their ranking on conservatism, or like we say around Raging Elephants Radio, liberty-driven. Texas first, liberty-driven. Clarity is 92 out of really 94 because Joe Strauss is in there and he doesn't get a ranking because as Speaker, he's never taken a vote. He doesn't have to take a vote as Speaker of the House. And as Speaker since 2009, he never took a vote. So out of the 94 voting Republicans, Travis Clarity, who was Rule 44 by the Cherokee County GOP, said he wants to be Speaker of the House. And when it comes to liberty, he's number 92 out of 94. My goodness. Lord, have mercy. Drew Darby is number 82. Phil King is 48. Tan Parker is 47. For Price, F-O-U-R. I wonder what the other children's names are. 1, 2, and 3, I guess. He's 71. And John Zerwas, who's been labeled a pro-life fraud by Texas Right to Life, is number 80. There's nobody even in the top 30. Nobody in the top 20 that is declared as Speaker as of yet. Clarity, who's been Rule 44'd, all of them Straussians. Phil King is a turncoat. Phil King in 2011 was considered one of the 15 heroes because Phil King red-lighted Joe Strauss. Well, that was turned around real quick in 2013, 2015, and 2017, especially in 15 and 17 when he was rewarded with committee chairmanship. Rice University rankings: Clarity 92, Darby 82, King 48, Parker 47, Price 71, Zerwas 80. Did it in alphabetical order. They want to be Speaker of the House. They would be, every single one of them could potentially be worse than Joe Strauss. None of these nim-nongs can be allowed to grab the gavel of the Texas Speaker of the House. Can't be. Must be prohibited, must be stopped at all costs, even if we have to put up some sort of Russian hoax investigation.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElephantsRadio.com. Here's a sample from Pastor Keenan Smith.
See, however, though, I believe the White House is supposed to stand as the people's house for all individuals. So I believe it is sinful and wrong for the White House to spend tens of hundreds of thousands of your tax dollars to bathe the White House in rainbow colors, celebrating their victory. So let me say this, that we expect an unregenerated individual to act lost. Lost people act lost. We expect that. We even expect them to embrace or promote or even applaud homosexuality and other ungodly practices because that's where they are in life. We understand that. The question is not do they act lost, but do we act found?
Enjoy Pastor Keenan Smith, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hi there, my name is Mark Cranenberg and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to talk about my favorite order from Chicago Steak Company. It's the classic prime assortment. All right, well, let's open up and have a look what's inside. So right away we've got two 6-ounce filet mignons. If you know anything about steak, it's really rare to see filet mignons with that kind of marbling in it. Just beautiful steak. And then next we've got the two 12-ounce USDA prime strip steaks. Just look at how thick these things are. They're just beautiful. Again, beautifully marbled, amazing steak. Then we've got two USDA prime ribeyes. And if you like steak that is just mouth-watering, this is the steak for you. With all that marbling inside, you'll see it's thicker. The marbling is a lot thicker. That just means more moisture throughout your steak. Now we've got 6 USDA prime top sirloin steaks. These are the steaks that everyone's gonna love. And then we're moving into our next package. Next we have 16 4-ounce gourmet Angus steak burgers. These are amazing burgers that everyone's gonna love. And to top it all off, they give you one container of my favorite steak seasoning of all time, the Chicago Steak Spice. And you're gonna love it too. So there you have the classic prime assortment, my favorite and your ultimate steak experience. So be sure to order your steak today at mychicagosteak.com. I'm Mark. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time at mychicagosteak.com.
Visit Chicago Steak Company through the RER Marketplace.
What do you care about Washington, D.C.? D.C. doesn't care about you. You're a Texan. You're a Texan above all else. And there's only one radio station that's going to feed your need for Texas power and independence. RagingElephantRadio.com. Finally, the Patriots of the Lone Star State have a unified voice to fight back and organize. 24/7, 365. RagingElephantRadio.com is going to give you what you need to know about Texas politics, liberty, and independence. Take us wherever you go. RagingElephantRadio.com. Streaming on your computer, smartphone, tablet, and internet auto. I'm doing the floss.
Texas-centric radio for Texans in the know. RagingElephantRadio.com.
On video, I'm doing the floss or the flossy or whatever they call that thing. Those kids know how to do it. And it's amazing. I'll be watching like a Formula One race. And the race will be in like Azerbaijan. You know? And some kid will stand up, or in Hungary. And some kid will stand up and they'll be doing the dap. Or they'll be doing like the floss. And it's like, there's social media for you today. There's YouTube for you. You have an international audience so that even the latest dance craze, some kid in Azerbaijan, some kid in Malaysia is standing up when the camera hits him and is doing the floss or the flossy or whatever they call the thing. I just discovered this thing has got chat. The YouTube thing has chat. I didn't know. So now we got chat room on RagingElephantRadio.com and we got chat on YouTube. And you should subscribe to the YouTube channel because I think you get like an email whenever a new YouTube video comes out, and then Facebook can't censor that. You got to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You got to subscribe to the SoundCloud channel so that when we have hot clips and audio programs, you'll get notified. You can even listen, you know, at your own convenience. And then there's the RER app, which is the absolute ultimate. Because you can only get the Renaissance Festival tickets through the RER app. If you want to go to the Renaissance Festival and eat steroid-induced turkey legs. There is no way in the world that a turkey leg is that big. That's more like, it looks like an ostrich leg is what it looks like. It's got steroids in there. We want to send our best to to our brethren and sisterin in the Carolinas as Florence bears down on them. Those of us who are seasoned hurricane watchers, we see the thing, we saw it getting weaker. The formation of the storm, the eye deteriorating, we saw it getting weaker. Winds are still over 100 miles an hour at Cat 2. Let me remind everybody that Ike, which I lived through, and a lot of you guys that are listening to me right now lived through, was a Cat 2. I was standing outside at 2 a.m. in the morning, listening to the transformers popping as the wind kicked up. No rain. It was a non-rain event, no water. It was a wind event. Knocked out power, snapped trees, snapped power lines, power poles. Winds at 110, 120 miles an hour, or whatever it was. It was a Cat 2. No flooding, a wind event. And I mean, there were those who had power out for months. Thank you, Lord Jesus, that literally, there's a power station behind my house, literally behind my house. And so when the trucks, utility trucks, when they rolled out after the winds subsided, my street was one of the first streets that regained power. It was really kind of weird in the subdivision because one side of the street would have power and the other side of the street wouldn't. So being Houstonians and being resourceful as we are, we started stringing extension cords from one house to the other. So at least they could power up their phones, they could watch some TV, understand what's going on with the news, what's happening, get updates. When I was able to, when the roads were finally cleared and I was able to roll out of the hood, the first working crew that I saw, power crew that I saw, were from Minnesota. Then I saw some crews from Iowa. They're from all over the U.S. And I'm saying all of this because on the Communist News Network, that Nimnong, what's her name? Anna Navarro. My goodness, what a ridiculous female. Lord have mercy. And everybody over at Communist News Network, including Donnie Sauer, I'm watching them last night, and they want to blame Donald Trump for supposedly there's 3,000 deaths in Puerto Rico. I don't want to sound like Alex Jones. Once again, I don't want to get thrown off of Twitter. I don't want to get thrown off of Facebook. I don't want to get thrown off of YouTube. I don't want to be shadow banned by Google or whatever. But they're saying nearly 3,000 dead in Puerto Rico. Hey, it was 6,000 to 8,000 in the 1900 Great Galveston Hurricane. Where's the bodies? Where's the funerals? Oh, here's the question. If there were 3,000 deaths in Puerto Rico, which, by the way, got hit by two storms, Irma and Maria, got hit by both of them, Irma and Maria. If there were nearly 3,000 deaths, how did the media miss it? They didn't miss Donald Trump tossing paper towels to, shelter residents. The reason why he was tossing the towels, because they were 20 deep in there. He was trying to get the towels back to the people in the back. He wasn't being flippant. He wasn't being callous. Oh, but the media wants to concentrate on his paper towel flip and First Lady Melania's sexy high heels. Go figure. But they miss nearly 3,000 bodies in Puerto Rico. Do you believe it? I don't believe it. Where's the bodies? You know what I want to see? I don't need to see a birth certificate. I want to see a stack of death certificates. Have these deaths been confirmed by Puerto Rican government? What is the coroner? What does the coroner say? Where's the death certificates of nearly 3,000 people in Puerto Rico? And then Anna Navarro talking about, oh, well, Trump could have put generators down there for power. What are you going to do? You're going to power a whole island, a whole commonwealth with little Coleman generators. If you're going to put generators to power an entire city, you've got to somehow get those generators in there that are the size of 18-wheelers. And there's no operable port or airport in the entire commonwealth, in the entire territory. Oh my goodness, she's a Nimnong. Is there just one smart person that's on the payroll at the Communist News Network? Donnie Sauer, ridiculous human being. Donnie Sauer. How did this individual get a primetime program? What an absolute moron. And Anna Navarro. Donald Trump could have prevented. Katrina is Puerto Rico is Donald Trump's Katrina, and the Carolinas are going to be Donald Trump's Katrina. What a ridiculous human beings. Aren't you glad you are not one of them? Yes, there's such things as thems and us. Aren't you glad you're not one of thems? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, they have the right mascot, jackasses. They have the absolute proper mascot, the jackasses. I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, your ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies under the pink dome call me the purifier, and I like it. From a very wet H-Town, and sending prayers and best wishes in the favor of the Lord on our brothers and sisters in the Carolinas. Those are good people in the Carolinas. May the Lord Jesus bless you. May the Lord Jesus bless the future, independent, sovereign Republic of Texas.